All right, fight fans, follow along real quick, and then I'll show you the original tweet by Turki Al-Sheikh. But this guy is doing his best to make boxing great again. He just tweeted out that he wants on the same card in October, I know it's months away, Ryan versus Devin rematch, Ennis versus Tio, and then the winners will fight each other, and the losers will fight each other in February. Here's that tweet.
The only fight I care about right now is Ryan Garcia.
I mean, I hope he keeps training with Derek James. That shoulder roll, that's amazing. It was a good performance. Yeah, he won.
Yeah.
He stopped Jordan. Yeah, it was a great performance. It was a good performance.
Ryan Garcia is scheduled to fight Romero in a big boxing match in May 2025. This fight is Garcia's first back in the ring after a year-long ban for doping. Romero is trying to bounce back from losing his title and win this fight to get back in the running for a title shot. The fight, organized by the Turki Al-Sheikh Ring magazine, is set to happen in Times Square, New York City, and it is supposed to be very exciting.
Ryan Garcia versus Romero is going to be a big event. And sadly, it may destroy Devin Haney's and Lomachenko's destroy their numbers. People love knockouts, and you know Romero versus King Ryan Garcia, there's going to be a knockout. And either way, if Romero were to knock out Ryan Garcia, that would be hysterical. Ryan Garcia, he knocks out Romero, he becomes like this superhero, because the whole Tony Weeks, Barroso thing, okay, the press conference would be crazy. Don't forget, Romero versus Gervonta Tank Davis, before the Ryan Garcia fight, that was his biggest fight. He made for the biggest pay-per-view draw for Gervonta Tank Davis. He's going to do the same. But don't forget, Gervonta Tank Davis, him versus King Ryan Garcia, did make history. And both of them were in the ring that night. So people want to see how Ryan Garcia looked coming back.
Ryan Garcia, who has a record of 24 wins, 1 loss, and 20 knockouts, is coming back to fight after being suspended for a year for testing positive for a banned drug after his match with Devin Haney in April 2024. Garcia's ban is over on April 20th, 2025, and he is excited to show what he can do again. He is famous for his quick hands and ability to knock out opponents. Ryan Garcia is known as one of the best young boxers. Garcia has proven an ability to end fights early, often with his signature left hook. However, his career hit a snag with the 1-year suspension for testing positive for banned substances. Many experts think that, despite this setback, Garcia's skills and potential are still strong.
Star boxer Ryan Garcia has tested positive for a performance-enhancing substance both the day before and on the day of a surprising victory over Devin Haney last month. This news comes from a letter by the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association. The testing samples were collected prior to the fight, but the results only surfaced afterward.
Devin Haney launched a lawsuit against Ryan Garcia in September 2024. Haney launched a lawsuit in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of New York, claiming damages for battery, fraud, and breach of contract. The lawsuit came from Garcia's doping violation after the April title fight in Brooklyn. Haney claimed that Garcia cheated by using performance-enhancing drugs, even though Garcia said he tried to lose weight but couldn't. Garcia won the fight by decision, but it was changed to a no contest because of a doping violation. Haney also claimed that he would not have agreed to the fight had he known Garcia was using banned drugs. The case named Garcia's promoter, Golden Boy Promotions, and his strength and conditioning coach Dave Scooter Honig as defendants. Haney wanted a full accounting of the event's profits, as he was entitled to 47% of the earnings. In response, Garcia took to social media to defend himself, saying he was being sued for simply doing his job. The case has added another layer of drama to their already difficult relationship.
Not so fast, Ryan Garcia. You can't blame Haney, and his team for an anti-doping test you voluntarily took. You chose to take that test. What that got to do with Devin Haney and his team? I am a fan of Ryan Garcia. I think that Ryan Garcia has the look, he has the vernacular, he has the presentation, where if this dude won in the boxing ring, he could promote the sport in ways most people couldn't in this country. We also saw you, Ryan Garcia, come to the weigh-in 3 pounds overweight. That doesn't sound like somebody who's disciplined enough to be as legitimate as possible and follow the rules and regulations. Now, does that mean you did steroids? No. I prefer to give you the benefit of the doubt, But the fact of the matter is, Ryan Garcia, you don't necessarily deserve it based on your behavior leading up to the fight and how you showed up at the weigh-in, completely disregarding the weight class.
The case has garnered major interest, with both fighter camps making public statements. Haney's father and trainer, Devin Haney, has been vocal about the lawsuit, saying that it's not just about Devin but about what's right and wrong in the sport. On the other hand, Garcia has dismissed the case as an act of desperation. The lawsuit has also affected their future plans. Both Garcia and Haney are set to fight on the same card in May 2025, with Garcia taking on Romero and Haney meeting Jose Ramirez. The card is part of a tentative settlement that includes a 90-day pause on processes in Haney's lawsuit. The highly anticipated rematch between Garcia and Haney is set for October 2025 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. The legal fight adds an extra layer of intrigue to their rivalry, and fans are eagerly awaiting the resolution of the lawsuit and the outcome of their future bouts. It remains to be seen how this legal conflict will impact their careers and the sport of boxing as a whole. Oscar de la Hoya, Garcia's promoter, has dismissed the necessity of a rematch, stating that Garcia destroyed Haney in their initial encounter. De la Hoya added, "I don't see any need for Ryan to fight Devin again."
With Fight Hub TV, and I'm joined now with Oscar de la Hoya. Oscar, it's good to see you here in London. Let's bring the missus in. You guys look really nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Feeling?
We feel great. She's a little cold, but we're okay.
It is a little chilly out here right at the moment.
Ruin the outfit. You can't wear the jacket today.
Yes. Well, I have to ask you, Turki Al Sheikh's #1 fight that he wants to make is going to be the rematch between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. What do you make of that?
If Ryan Garcia wants it, then that's what he wants. But me personally, I see no need for it. Ryan Garcia destroyed him, and that's the bottom line. So I think we have to make the best fights possible. And there's fighters here like Teofimo. There's fighters here that we can match up Ryan with anyone and make a terrific event.
I'm going to ask you, Teo's right here. Obviously, that was one of the fights I said I wanted to see the most in 2025. Conversations, possibly. I know that he's a little bit intertwined in something complicated at the moment, but obviously, if and should he be free later in the year, maybe a fight between those two?
Yeah, absolutely. If they're the best at the moment, if that's what people want to see, we have to make it. I mean, look, I sound like a broken record here, but I was once a fighter, and I'm a promoter now, but I think like a fighter. I want to see the best fight the best.
Romero, with a record of 16, 2, and 13 knockouts, is looking to bounce back after dropping his WBA junior welterweight title to Isaac Cruz in March 2024. Romero has since rebounded with a win over Manuel Jaimes in September 2024. Although no titles are on the line for this fight, the winner will significantly boost their ranking and possibly set up a future world title shot. The fight is scheduled to start around 3:30, depending on the length of the undercard bouts. This highly anticipated bout is set to be an electrifying encounter, with both fighters bringing their unique styles and drive to the ring. Fans are eagerly awaiting the clash, hoping to watch an unforgettable performance from both Garcia and Romero. Boxing experts are buzzing with excitement about the upcoming fight between Ryan Garcia and Romero. Many think that this fight will be a true test of Garcia's skills and resilience following his suspension, while others are curious to see if Romero can bounce back from his recent losses and prove his knockout power. Some analysts have pointed out that Garcia's speed and power will be a significant advantage, but Romero's aggressive style and determination could make for an unpredictable and thrilling fight.
So Dre, today I want to get with you and get your insight on the matchup between Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero. How do you see that fight?
Well, if and when that fight go down, man, I really don't care about either of the two. Rolly kind of, man, he too much for me, right? Well, Ryan has a lot of potential, but at the same time, I just ain't feeling him too much. Yeah, so Ryan has all of the talent, right? Formal, the boy can execute, he's not scared. You see what he did when he got in there with Tank, leading up to the knockout, right? Rolly has a big mouth and has the mentality to back it up. I honestly don't feel like that'll be enough. I think Ryan, especially the last fight with Tank, grew a lot since then. And I see him, if that fight ever takes place, taking Ryan.
Teddy Atlas, a renowned boxing analyst, has expressed that Garcia's time away from the ring might have provided him with a chance to sharpen his skills and mental toughness. Ryan is a phenomenal gift. This fight will show if he's used his suspension time wisely to become even more formidable. Atlas referenced in a recent podcast Andre Ward, a bearded figure in the boxing world and former super middleweight champion, who has always been known for his keen insights and deep understanding of the sport. Ward highlights Garcia's resilience and adaptability, pointing out that the young fighter has faced major difficulties both inside and outside the ring. Garcia's career, while marked by impressive wins and a growing fan base, has not been without its setbacks. These have included problems with mental health, injuries, and most recently, a one-year suspension for a doping violation. In the interview, Ward stresses that overcoming adversity is a critical aspect of any boxer's journey. Ryan has faced trouble before, both inside and outside the ring. His ability to come back strong from this suspension will be key in his fight against Romero. Ward stated he explains that Garcia's suspension time could serve as a pivotal moment for self-reflection and growth. It gives Garcia the opportunity to not only regain his physical form, but also to strengthen his mental fortitude, a crucial element in the high-stakes world of professional boxing.
Concerned about him too.
Really? You think he should reconsider fighting?
Man, I can't make that decision for him, but he got stuff he's dealing with. And it's gonna be hard for him to deal with that being in a training camp, because that ain't time for self-care, that's not time for counseling, that's time to get ready for war. So he's in a really tough spot, having signed that fight, and then these types of things are starting to come out. So I'm praying for him, and I wish him nothing but the best.
I love that. Now, what's your advice? If you had to give some kind of advice to him, what would you tell him?
I think the first thing is he got to get off social media.
Ward also notes that Garcia's ability to adapt to different fighting styles and situations has been one of his best strengths. Ward noted Garcia's speed and power are well, but what sets him apart is his ability to read his opponents and adjust his strategy on the fly. This adaptability will be important against a fighter like Romero, who brings relentless rage and knockout power. Romero's aggressive style presents a unique task for Garcia. Ward thinks that Garcia's success will hinge on his ability to neutralize Romero's power and pressure, while capitalizing on his own speed and precision. Ward explained Ryan needs to use his footwork and timing to keep Romero at bay. If he can control the distance and take his moments to strike, he'll have a major advantage. Furthermore, Ward touched on the psychological parts of the fight. Garcia's return to the ring after a suspension will surely come with added pressure and scrutiny. Handling this pressure will be another test of Garcia's resolve. Mental toughness is as important as physical skill in fighting. Ryan needs to stay focused and calm, not letting the external noise affect his performance. This fight is as much about showing himself to the world as it is about winning. Ward asserted Paulie Malignaggi, a former world champion and current boxing commentator known for his keen insights, has given a detailed analysis of Rolly Romero's chances against Ryan Garcia in his pre-fight analysis. Malignaggi emphasized the key factors that could influence the result of the fight. Malignaggi highlighted Romero's formidable power, which has been a defining feature of his fighting style. Romero has proven the ability to end fights with a single punch. Right now, he has the power to turn the fight around at any point. His knockout power is a game changer, and it keeps his opponents on edge throughout the fight. Malignaggi noted.
Move up in weight, it doesn't mean you won't struggle to make the weight, but you typically won't struggle again, unless, you're not 15, 16 years old where you're growing and you might jump up 2 weight classes, 3 weight classes in a year or two because your body's filling out and growing. When you're doing this stuff in your 20s, you're most likely on something, Ryan Garcia was a lightweight not that long ago. Devin Haney was a lightweight not that long ago. I'm not going to rail against Ryan Garcia. I'm definitely disappointed. It doesn't shock me, though. I remember first being suspicious of Ryan Garcia when he knocked out Romero Duno in 1 round a while back, actually. Duno was a very durable guy. Garcia hadn't shown that kind of punching power, especially one-punch power, to that point at that time in his career. And he barely hit the guy. He hit the guy with like a partial left hook, and you could tell Duno went out, because one leg went one way, one leg went another way. So you can't fake that kind of knockout. His leg went 2 different directions, and he went down hard, and it was over in 1 round. And I remember looking at that fight and thinking, that's weird, man. That's a special kind of power. You don't just wake up with that kind of power. You either had that or you haven't, and he hasn't had that. Ever since then he's been known as a hard puncher. and so on and so forth. But again, I'm not gonna make a stink of it because again, you have no failed drug tests, so everybody rails against you anyway. You got a whole bunch of blowhard groupie fans anyway that rail against you no matter who you go after. You got guys that have failed outright, like Canelo Alvarez, and these fans still get mad when you call them a drug cheat.
However, Malik Nagy pointed out that power alone is not enough to achieve victory against a skilled boxer like Garcia. He emphasized the value of Romero's ability to apply effective pressure while avoiding Garcia's counter-punches. If Rolly can pressure Garcia successfully and avoid getting caught by Garcia's counter-punches, he stands a good chance. Malik Nagy explained that Romero's aggressive style could disrupt Garcia's rhythm and force him into uncomfortable situations, possibly leading to openings for Romero to land his powerful shots. Tim Bradley, a respected former welterweight champion and current boxing analyst, offers an insightful view on the upcoming bout between Rolly Romero and Ryan Garcia. In his study, Bradley emphasizes the dual nature of Romero's aggressive fighting style, which can be both a potent weapon and a possible vulnerability.
You know, because the weigh-ins is actually where you can see, all right, is my pick right or is my pick wrong? To continue what I'm going to initially say is that Ryan Garcia didn't make the weight, people. I don't care. Like, you have a contract to make a weight. And I don't think Ryan Garcia intended to make the weight at 140 pounds. You know, even after the fact, Ryan was like, well, that's why I always fight at 143. You know, there was no way I was going to make the weight. He knew even going into the fight that he wasn't going to make the weight to begin with. You know, which is one, not right. Two, you're contracted to make 140, and you go into the fight now with an advantage. You know, so what he learned from Gervonta Davis was he took it into this fight against Devin Haney. And, you know, some people say, well, Haney, you know, he took the money. Haney, of course, he had to, because he was damned if he didn't, and damned if he don't. This is a huge event, man. And now you pull away, now you're going to piss off a lot of folks. The zone, promoters, everybody going to start, oh, he's scared, he's that, he's this and that. It's only 3 pounds, it's only 3 pounds. If it's only 3 pounds.
However, Bradley is quick to point out that aggression alone is not enough to achieve victory against a skilled counterpuncher like Garcia. If he can harness that aggression and stay disciplined, he could give Garcia a lot of problems. Bradley continues that the key, according to Bradley, lies in Romero's ability to channel his aggression successfully and avoid becoming reckless. Discipline and strategic thinking will be crucial in ensuring that Romero's aggressive methods do not backfire. Bradley elaborates on the possible pitfalls of an overly aggressive approach, but if he gets reckless Garcia's speed and precision, he could capitalize on those openings. He warns, Garcia, known for his lightning-fast hand speed and accurate counterpunches, excels at utilizing the gaps left by aggressive opponents. Romero's tendency to charge forward could leave him vulnerable to Garcia's quick counters, especially his lethal left hook.
Floyd even said that he's one of the top 3, salesmen in boxing. You know, Gervonta Davis, him, and Canelo. They're the biggest names in boxing. That's what Floyd went on a rant and said. So he's feeling some type of way about himself, and he's saying that, hey, I'm the A side. I have the huge following. Although I ain't never won a belt, although I ain't never really beat a real fighter, you know, I'll give him the boy from England. I'll give him that.
In addition to discussing the physical aspects of the fight, Bradley also touches on the mental and tactical factors Romero needs to approach this fight with a clear game plan and the ability to adapt as the fight progresses. Bradley says he emphasizes the value of Romero's cornering, keeping him focused and making necessary adjustments based on Garcia's tactics. A well-executed game plan combined with the ability to stay composed under pressure could make all the difference for Romero. Furthermore, Bradley acknowledges that the psychological dynamics of the fight will play a major role. Garcia's return to the ring after a suspension adds an element of uncertainty, and Romero could use this to his benefit. If Romero can start strong and put Garcia on the back foot early, it might shake Garcia's confidence. Bradley says, on the other hand, that Bradley cautions that Romero must be prepared for a determined and focused version of Garcia eager to prove himself after his time away from the ring.
I want Rollies, to be honest. I mean, I feel like it's a fun fight. He's a, aggressive, crazy dude. lead up would be crazy. Yeah, and I want that. You know, I mean, he has a title technically, but yeah, let's do it. Just I don't know if you have a real injury or not, but he'll that shit. He'll beat you up.
Is it gonna happen? Or do you want it to happen?
I shall see.
You shall see.
I shall see.
Yeah. What do you make of him skipping the Haney fight for a fight with you?
No opinion on that. No opinion on that either.
Yeah. So what happens in a fight between you guys? How do you beat Ryan?
In short, the upcoming bout between Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero not only promises to be a thrilling encounter in the ring but also carries significant effects for both fighters' careers. Garcia, eager to prove himself after a year-long suspension, faces the task of overcoming both physical and mental obstacles. Romero, determined to rebound from previous losses, brings his aggressive style and knockout power to the table. With expert opinions highlighting the strengths and weaknesses of each fighter, fans can expect a highly strategic and exciting match. The added drama of Devin Haney's lawsuit against Garcia further intensifies the stakes, making this fight an important moment in the boxing world. What are your thoughts on the upcoming fight between Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero? Who do you think will come out on top and why? Share your predictions, analysis, and any other information you have about this highly anticipated showdown in the comments below.